Motivation is a
Mm,
byproduct of action. If you are not
mm.
taking action on a daily basis, no wonder you don't feel motivated. I don't feel motivated when I wake up every single morning. I feel motivated after I get to the gym and I start my workout because then I've built momentum for the fucking day. Hence why I wake up at 3 a.m., I do my regular shit, and then I go to the gym and then I box right afterwards. You get motivation through action. Motivation doesn't just come out of nowhere. This is another reason why I do believe in affirmations. However,
Okay.
yelling affirmations in the fucking mirror are not going to transform your life, homie. All right. Being like, I'm beautiful, I'm rich, I'm fit. Cool, dog. You look like shit. You have no fucking money and you haven't got anywhere because you're saying it while sitting on your ass on the couch. So, imposter syndrome, you should feel like a fucking imposter because you're saying all these things out loud and you're doing nothing about it. You feel like an imposter because you're speaking about grandest goals.
I am so excited because you cover so many topics and you talk about a lot of stuff. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff and I want your opinion on it. I want your expertise on it because from relationship to fatherhood to being a coach, a fitness, all of that, it's like, how do you do it? How do you get time to do all of that? I'm going to start just with that.
Honestly, it's definitely a balancing act. It is
Yeah.
something that takes a while to master, but long story short, after doing this for what, almost a decade now, I got into the industry in 2016. All right, we're
Mm.
going into 2026 right away here. I've just got really good at mastering my time. All right, making sure that in my calendar I have time for literally everything. All right, I'm making sure that I give minutes to my fitness, my relationship, and my business, and I really barely sleep. I pound water and some caffeine and I'm ready to go. That's pretty much how it is.
Have you realized that every time when you ask somebody about their, how do you balance your life, and they're like so devoted to do things that are good for them, and
Hmm.
they always spend a lot of time with themselves, and they're so focused, they don't have time for
Yep.
bullshit. You don't have time for anything else, and it's just like, I don't know, I just do things that are good for me.
Well, and that was something that I started to do at a young age. Like I stopped partying around like what, 2021 or no, not 2021, when I was 21 or 20. Um, and it was something that I just committed to because I was partying, going crazy, doing all this crazy shit at a very young age. So when it came to me wanting to transform my life, I'm like, I got it out of my system. So now everything I do is it's like selfishly for myself and then selfishly like for obviously my family, my goals, and the people around me. But it comes down to me not wanting to do dumb shit that's going to ruin my life or my family's life or my friends' life or my clients' lives at the end of the day.
I think it's so admiring because you, and at such a young age, you realize that. I've seen a lot of, I kid you not, I've seen a lot of people that are like older and they still don't have their life together. They don't have their shit together. And it's just so
Yeah.
sad.
Well, and that was actually one of the turning points in my own life. There was an individual named, let's just say Johnny,
Right.
that I met, ended up working with when I was an iron worker because I did iron working for around 2 to 3 years. And he was pushing 62, all right, around there, like 57 to 62. He had gout in both feet, and he was just a really ornery, angry man. And like me and him would fight and butt heads every single day because he was the old journeyman that knew everything and everything had to be his way and you had to do it his way or it wasn't the right way. And then I was the new gun that was basically put through the fire to get everything done quickly. And I just wanted to get the job done so I could go drink or go do drugs or go party because that's all I cared about back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, and there was multiple situations where like I saw like my future where I was like, oh, that's where I'm going if I keep acting this way. If I don't learn, if I keep acting arrogant, if I don't expand my knowledge in different areas, if I keep acting like a dick on a daily basis, like that's me in like 50 years. So no, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, I need to find a way out because there was specifically one day we got in an argument and he jumped in a thing called the quote unquote Zoom boom. Long
Right.
story short, it's like a forklift where you can lift up huge beams and extend them out like 100 feet with the boom itself. And me and him were yelling at each other. He gets in the Zoom boom and he slammed the door so hard that he broke the door and it locked, but he
Oh my.
couldn't climb out the window because of the gout in his feet. So you
Right.
just saw this like little man yelling in a Zoom room for like an hour and a half, waiting for the text to get there to open the door. And it was like little moments like that where I'm like, okay, I need to change. Like, I'm like, I can't be that person who just remains the same like everybody else and doesn't work on their fitness and their health and their business and become something. I can't do it. It doesn't, there's not a part of my bones in my body that will allow that to happen.
Oh my God, yeah. It was so funny because me, as in a young age, I was kind of got thrown in. Like I never had those opportunity to be like, do drugs and go party and anything like that. So in a very young age, I became a mother, right? And
Yep.
then I had to force myself to be in an age of like 20. I was like 40. I had to take care of my two girls. I had to,
Yeah.
work and this is whatever. But at the time I hated it. I hated it. And I was blaming everybody, Cole. Like I was like, I hate
Hmm.
my mom. I hate my sisters. I hate everybody, the economy, the government, the stupid country, the friend, everything. So angry all the
Yep.
time that I actually got exhausted. It's like, all right, like shut the fuck up. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Pull your shit together, and it is what it is. No
Yep.
one's coming, no one's helping you. You're suffering on your own. And I realized that in a very young age.
Hmm.
And now I look back at it, I'm like, thank God I was blessed that, I had to go through all of that to learn
Yeah.
so fast because I see people, a lot of women in my age and even older than that. And I'm like, oh my God,
Hmm.
like you need to do something about your life.
There's a lot of people that are bought into their own victimhood story and they feel like the world has been 100% against them and they're the only people in the world that's ever gone through hard shit when in reality we've all gone through pain. We've all dealt with hard times. We all have our crazy come up story. And the people that we actually see who have become successes in the world chose to allow their past be their origin story rather than their future life. And that's something that we consistently talk about in our program. I've talked to so many people I know, like, homie, we went through crazy shit when I was growing up. Like, I
Oh
grew up
yeah.
in the country. I'm the middle of five kids. All right, my dad would travel the world grinding his ass off as a crane operator because that's how we needed to make ends meet, then come home, beat the fuck out of us, and we get in fights on a continual basis. Like we went through crazy stuff, but I could either just dwell on that and complain, or I could be like, shit happens to everybody. Grow the fuck up. If you want to transform your life, do the work or shut your mouth, period.
Period. And like you
Hmm.
said, you just took that victim mentality and you said, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Hmm.
But you also geared toward fitness a lot. Like you're doing a lot of fitness, and you
Yeah.
talk about a neuro mindset coach. Um, what draw you to start the fitness? Did you start the fitness first, or did you start coaching
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, so fitness saved my life, hands down. All right. And I'm actually bringing fitness coaching back. I haven't
Okay.
done it in the last, what, 4 years or so, or 3.5 years or so, due to the fact that we started business coaching and then we needed to pivot all of our focus there.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, main focus, pivotal focus is what's going to help you see success.
Right.
But fitness 100% saved me. You see, when I became an iron worker, very quickly I ended up developing it was like a form of carpal tunnel.
Oh.
Doctors still to this day don't understand really what happened, but I started to get like tendonitis and carpal tunnel in my tendons where I was waking up in like 2021 with like chicken feet for hands. I couldn't open my fingers because you got to think about it. Have you ever hit like a bar with a bat, or you've ever hit something and you feel that rattle?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I hate
that
that.
24/7 because I'm banging a sledgehammer on steel 70 feet in the air trying to get beams together. And I started to wake up not being able to extend my fingers. So I went to the doctor. I was like, I need help. I don't know what's going on. The doctor basically said, take some ibuprofen and work out. Like, we don't have to fucking tell you, like, that we can't help you. We're not going to do surgery on you. You're too young. So I went and found my solution. There was an individual that I worked with, keep his name out of it, that was like, yo,
Hmm.
I got perks. Like, this might help. You want to try one? So I tried a Percocet and I was like, oh, I can move my hands. I'm like, I feel lighter. I feel okay. Next thing you know, one led to two,
Uh-oh.
two led to four, four led to eight. I'd start blacking out around seven on a daily basis. And then my average was eating seven a day consistently every single day, 7 days a week. And then as soon as I was done working while I was high off my fucking ass, I'd go straight to the bar, drink for 4 or 5 hours, pass out, wake up, do it again. That was my regular routine. I
Wow.
ended up building up like $20,000 in debt. I had no friends. All right. I was barely like connected with my family. I was just basically couch surfing with my two older siblings that were in Calgary at the time because the rest of my family was in Thunder Bay. And we didn't
Hmm.
talk anyways. I didn't have any relationships. So I was just lost and alone. And through multiple stories of me being like, fuck you, Cole, like angry at me because I let myself be embarrassed or did something stupid or like expose myself in a negative light to people that I didn't like happening. I was like, this is it, dude. I'm done. Like, enough is enough. It's time to make a change in my life. I fucking hate who I see in the mirror. And I knew I couldn't do anything financially. I locked myself in a blue collar job that I didn't know how to do anything else other than pick up beams and put wood
Mm.
together or put steel together. I was $20,000 in debt. I had no friends, no partner, no family that I could actually rely on to get me out of that. So I was like, well, what can I do? I'm like, well, I can control what I put in my mouth. So I just started working out. I ended up hiring a random fitness app online for $14 a month. I would eat out of meal prep containers and I would work out every day, stop drinking, stop going to the bars, stop dating women, deleted all the dating apps off my phone. And then after 6 months of doing this, like basically just like isolating and working on me, I ended up meeting my first fitness coach who took me on as a fitness competitor, who is now actually my best friend and business partner now. And he like
Nice.
forced me to do a competition prep because he actually dealt with an addiction in the past too. And what saved
Right.
him was competition preps. So I did 3 shows, won first in overalls in all of them. After my second show, I became an in-person PT at a camp, did it for 2 weeks, hated it, quit, went full-time online with him. And that's all she wrote. Within like 3 months, I made 10K. Within like 6 to 7 months of us working together, I became his business partner. After that, around a year and a half, we were running like a 60 to $70,000 a month business. And then we scaled and started business coaching PTs, helping them do what we did.
Wow.
Hmm.
My God. It is so funny that that moment that you realize I don't want to do this shit.
Hmm.
It's so easy to say to yourself, but it's so fucking hard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I feel like one of the main reasons why it was incredibly hard for me is due to the fact that that's what everyone else was doing. Like I originally left my hometown, Thunder Bay, Ontario, to move to Calgary, Alberta on the drop of a dime. You see, my friends took a road trip across Canada
Mm,
and we were just gonna go see some buddies. We drank the whole fucking road trip. Like we got blasted out of our minds. We got to Calgary, we partied the whole time, the entire time that we were there. And then right before we were about to leave, my older sibling was like, "Why the fuck are you leaving here?" I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "There's nothing for you back home. There's no job. You're working at Walmart. Like, just leave. Like, stay. I'll get you a job." He got me an interview as an iron worker. And I dropped everything at the drop of a dime because originally I was like, I want to get away from the party life because I was drinking and partying from like 14, leaving my
mm.
house, couch surfing, doing crazy shit. So I was like, this will be my escape story. But then when I got to Calgary, all right, my new town, the same thing happened. I fell into addiction. I fell into drinking. And it was because I was very easily influenced from the individuals around me. I fell into the regular life of we work a 9 to 5, we drink every day, we watch TV, we go to sleep, we do it again. And I just became one of the regular average people in the fucking world until one day I was like, this isn't you. Like I remember growing up looking at my baby brothers and being like, I will never be the average dad with the average car and the average house and the average life and the average body because I fucking hate it. But
Mm.
then I ended up falling into it because it's average for a reason. Everybody's fucking
Right.
average. It's not like I'm not even attacking it, it's just how it was. And until I had that wake up moment where I looked in the mirror one day and was like, what are you doing? Like everything you've ever said in your life, you are now doing. Like everything you said you wanted to avoid, you are now facing. Like make a change or you're gonna hate yourself forever. So I just chose to make a change.
Yeah, and this is why I bring people from all walk of life, young, old, whatever, because we wanted to have this message going out there. What the
Mm.
fuck is wrong with this generation now? I'm not kidding. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. With men and women, I always say that there's so many men out there that are like, "Oh, want to find a nice girl. I want to settle down. I want to do this. I want to
Yeah.
do that." And girls are like, "Oh, like I want to get a nice man. This and that." They're available. They can't find each other,
Yeah.
and and the reason I always see one thing they have in common. This is what see if you agree with me. They always fucking complain.
Yeah.
They vent. They vent. They vent. They vent. They don't do nothing about it.
Hmm.
They just keep venting and venting and venting. So they never sit back like yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say that enough is enough, man. Come on.
Hmm.
I'm this much, I'm 30 years old. I need to get my life together. So they'd never do that because something has to happen. Something traumatic has to happen to push them. But it's not necessarily, you don't have to wait for that. You don't have to
No.
wait for something to happen. You don't have to have a story. You don't have to suffer in order to be happy, right?
Yes, yes. And I absolutely agree. That's something that I'd like to repeat because I want your followers to really hear that. You don't have to suffer in order to be happy. I did. People I know
Me
did.
too.
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to, though. It's just the reality. We all choose our quote unquote rock bottom. When are you going to make the chance? When are you going to take the chance? When are you going to do what is necessary in order to change? Mine, literally, again, was just me seeing me head down a path. And I asked myself, Like, what's the worst that can happen? I have no fucking money, no fucking friends, no relationships, and I don't have a relationship with my family. I hate my fucking job. I hate my situation. So who gives a fuck if I fail? Let's just go. I quit perks cold turkey, stopped drinking,
Wow.
deleted all dating apps, and just went into it. And then I saw success. I feel like a lot of people are in the stage of paralysis analysis. They have so many steps in front of them, or at least they think they do. And they're like,
Mhm.
man, there's nothing to do. So I'm just going to complain and I'm going to bitch and I'm going to whine. And unfortunately, our world is currently in a state of catering to those whiners, in a state of allowing people to bitch and whine without doing anything about it. We have compassion, we have empathy, we have all these positive things that we can face people with. But at the end of the day, if more people just sat their friends down and was like, dude, shut the fuck up, please, and just do something about it, the world would be a better place. And your friends would be more fit and everybody be making more money and we all be driving nicer cars. We have nicer houses, but everyone's afraid of offending everybody else because the world is in a place of social acceptance, even though social acceptance means obese people, broke mentalities, whining and complaining on a daily basis. And if you say anything about it, you're the fucking enemy. Fuck you. You don't know my situation. Yeah, I don't know your situation, but also, who gives a fuck? Because there's always somebody in a worse situation than you. So either
Right.
make the decision to change, because if right now you're playing on your phone, bitching and whining online, you have a better situation than half of the world who don't have access to the fucking internet, who can't bitch on their fucking phone. And that's the mentality that'll never make sense to me. Like, I'm going to take a crying video or tweet online about how bad my life is when there's actual people who can't have internet access who are pushing better than you are.
I can agree with you more.
Hmm.
I just find this so amazing. People always take so much time complaining versus just changing their situation. And like
Hmm.
you said, their friend, if when somebody do that to me, it's not like not only that you have to listen to it because it's affect you because who you hang out with, that's who you become. And you're an
Of
example of
course.
that. You
Yeah.
completely isolated yourself and said, listen, I'm not going to be around these assholes anymore. I don't
Yep.
want to do this anymore. But here's another problem. If you don't agree with them, like you said, they're gonna say, "Oh, you don't understand me. You don't understand what I'm saying." I don't want to have a friend to like enable me in my bad behavior. That's not a
Mm.
good friend.
Yes, 100%. I say this all the time. I can't say that I love you if I don't tell you the truth. So if I'm consistently allowing you to drink, to do drugs, to complain, to bitch, to treat your family poorly, yourself poorly, and I do not speak up, if I do not alter your behavior, I don't love you as a friend. I am a shitty friend. And that is why my friend circle is incredibly small because there are
Yeah,
a lot of people that can't handle that feedback. Because if you bitch and whine to me, you are probably going to get hit with a response of, listen, I get it, but can we stop bitching now? Get it out and then shut the fuck up and do something about it. I'm
yeah,
not the person you're just going to whine and bitch and complain to because guess what? We all got our own problems. Your problems are valid. My problems are valid. The only difference between me and most people is that I will dwell on them for a millisecond and you will dwell on them for 30 fucking years and say that that's the reason why you never saw success.
yeah. So if somebody comes to you and say, complain and say that, I have a imposter syndrome or I'm not motivated and I don't know what to do, what your advice would be to them?
I think it depends on the person. Again, if it's one of my friends, I'll be like, well, what's going on, homie? And we'll have a conversation and I'll be like,
Right.
that sucks. And it'll be a little bit more of a kind-hearted answer, maybe, depending on what friend it was, and then we'll push forward. If it's a client or if it's a random stranger, my words are pretty blunt. As of right now, if you are struggling with motivation or imposter syndrome, you are not doing the work necessary to get through that feeling that you are currently dealing with. Motivation is a
Mm,
byproduct of action. If you are not
mm.
taking action on a daily basis, no wonder you don't feel motivated. I don't feel motivated when I wake up every single morning. I feel motivated after I get to the gym and I start my workout because then I have built momentum for the fucking day. Hence why I wake up at 3 a.m., I do my regular shit, and then I go to the gym and then I box right afterwards. You get motivation through action. Motivation doesn't just come out of nowhere. This is another reason why I do believe in affirmations. However,
Okay.
yelling affirmations in the fucking mirror are not going to transform your life, homie. All right, being like, I'm beautiful, I'm rich, I'm fit. Cool, dog. You look like shit. You have no fucking money and you haven't got anywhere because you're saying it while sitting on your ass on the couch. So, a imposter syndrome, you should feel like a fucking imposter because you're saying all these things out loud and you're doing nothing about it. So no wonder
Right.
you feel like an imposter because you're speaking about grandest goals. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to drive a McLaren. I'm going to get $1 million house. I'm going to drive a jet. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. And then what happens on fucking 4 o'clock? You sit on the couch and you watch TV. So what the fuck are we talking about here? Right?
It's so true. It's so true. There's a thin line between that. Okay, here's the thing though, right? Like what you said is so, so true. Now, in today's society, that's been misrepresented. People that are coming in, these coaches that are coming in, that I'm a
Yeah.
spiritual coach or I'm a manifestation coach and I'm an all that coach, and they give you all of that. And I listen, I give my client that practice. I tell
Yeah.
them like you should take some time, write a journal, like write about yourself, how
Hmm.
you feel, write about it because it's good when you go back and read it and realize how much you
Yes.
progress, right? I think
Yes.
it's like I see the progress. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I felt like shit. Today, I'm okay. Tomorrow, I'm feeling great for that purpose. Or
Yes.
have a vision. Without the vision, you can't fucking have a blueprint,
Yep. I
right?
agree. Yeah.
But they take that and thinking that, well, but I'm manifesting. I'm
No.
manifesting my life. It's not happening, Cole. What do I do? I'm
Yeah.
timing myself. I'm I'm grateful. I do my affirmation, I do my gratitude checklist, but nothing is happening. Nothing is happening.
Yeah, so that's it's a funny conversation as well, right? You
Yeah.
see, I've said this multiple times before, manifestation is a fucking joke. And the reason why I say that out loud is because the terminology and definition of today's manifestation, I feel like is overplayed and
Yeah.
ridiculous. I believe in manifestation. I have a 25-year vision on my wall right here and a yearly vision right there. The only reason why I built those things is so that when I come in this office and I sit down, I'm like, it's time to get to fucking work, homie, because you ain't gonna get that shit if you are not grinding. That's it. That is the only reason. And me and my business partner talk about this all the time. He is our visionary hippy dippy. We always have this conversation. His name is Brian. He's my boy. So he is always like deep meditation, hypnotherapy. He's the hippy dippy version of us. For
Mm,
myself, that's just never resonated with me. My thing was, okay, I want to make $100 million. I want the $1 million homes, the traveling, the cars, the money, the success for my family, my wife never touching a fucking work job ever again unless she wants to, my kids set up. So literally just thought about it and said, who is the man that needs to do that? What are their traits? What are their values? What are their habits? What are their rituals? How do they show up on a daily basis? I reverse engineered it, and I am now that person today. I didn't know I was going to be a millionaire. I didn't know I was going to transform my life. I didn't know that I was going to be able to charter a jet like we did 2 days ago. I didn't know that I
mhm.
have any of the money that I have today. I just looked at it and was like, okay, I need to do this. I need to do this. I can't make any excuses. These are the traits I need to operate from. I never miss a wake up time again. I go to the gym. I work on my fitness. I work on my mindset. I work on my health. Cool. I'm going to do that every fucking day for the extended period until the goal happens. Not a year, not 2 years, not 5 years. I've been doing this for 9 years now.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the thing. I didn't know I'd get here yet. It was just a byproduct of my action. Becoming the person I believed would achieve the goals is what attracted the results, not thinking about it and then not taking any action itself.
And that's when they get confused because the mindset, right? You're a mindset coach. The minute we talked about mindset, people think that this all woo woo
Yeah.
thing that is like, oh my God, what do you mean I have to work on my mindset? So I'm manifesting. I mean, scientifically, listen, a conscious always will manifest because
Yep.
that's what we are. Okay.
Yep.
We're energy
Yes.
experiencing life through our physical body by expanding our
Yes.
conscious,
Yes.
right? Now, that conscious can expand in a good, bad, ugly, whatever you want it. In order for you to set your mindset right, you must have a vision. That's what me and you, we talk about mindset. That's the mindset. We have
Yes.
to have a plan. We should say to ourselves, okay, how do you want it? Like you said, you look at the guy and you said, I don't want to fucking be like that. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be
That's
like that.
exactly it.
Or if you're having a vision board, right? You're putting all these stuff on the vision board and saying that, okay, I want to accomplish that. That's what the mindset is. I don't want this our listeners to get confused with like the minute you mention mindset, they think about like, oh, Cole, so I have to meditate, I have to do affirmation, I have to write something every single day. I have to like how do you define mindset, working on your mindset?
Yeah, so working on your mindset to me is understanding what principles, values, and traits are. How would you like to be seen on the outside world? How would you like to show up for self? And what principles do you operate from on a daily basis? So when it comes down to quote unquote mindset coaching, all
Yeah.
right, I just say mindset coach because people always utilize that fucking word and people say it. My thing is more of, i.e., principle coach, value coach, trait coach. I want to teach people how to resonate with individual values like responsibility, integrity, whatever you would like to define as you, and then actually learn how to fucking embody it. That is my
Mm.
mentality around mindset coaching. That is the thing
Mm.
that I lean into. For myself, it's a lot of people are, for lack of a better term, hippy dippy in their mindset. All right. Think that they need to, what you just said, meditate, do hypnotherapy. I need to speak positive affirmations every day in order to motivate myself and feel happy. But then all these fucking affirmations that they say on a daily basis don't align with who the fuck we see that they are. So I'm
Right.
shredded, I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm this. Okay, cool. But then I see you sleep in, I see you not do the work, I see you show up late, I see you put half-ass effort in. So all these things that you are consistently acting out of alignment with them because you have no values, no traits, and no habits and rituals to be able to back it up. So like my
Mm.
mindset, quote unquote, coaching is actually stoned into habits, rituals, values, and traits. Who are you? How do you show up on a daily basis? And how long can you actually stick to the game plan without wavering because you want instant results instead of long-term results?
Do you recommend coaches for people that want to start their life and they stuck somewhere, whether it's a fitness, whether it's a relationship, whether it's whatever it is? How highly do you recommend coach? Because like you said, when you started, you did it solo. And for me, I think that's harder. If you can afford, I would definitely invest on a coach.
I agree
What do you
wholeheartedly. Yeah.
think?
Like if I was to start again, if I was to start again, I probably would have had to do it again myself because I didn't have anything saved up at that time and I didn't have the
Right.
resources. But even when I did hire my coach, I didn't have the resources. I started selling games in my house, movies in my house, Xboxes in my house, and old clothing that I had. But that's besides the point. My coach didn't even know it. I
Hmm.
recommend hiring a mentor or a coach for anything that you would like to do because we are living in a different fucking age. This is another reason why I also have no patience for the quote unquote new generation and their soft ass mentality because
Hmm.
when I was doing this shit 8 years ago, online mentorship was not the same. There
Thank
was
you.
not this many people online creating content to help you for free and also being like, hey, give me $50 and I'll fucking help you. There are mentorship programs ranging from $50 to $5,000 a month. No matter what your investment range is, you can hire somebody. And I would highly recommend doing it due to the fact that it will shorten your time horizon. It will speed up the process of you seeing success in your life, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially. I always say hire a coach. That is why I currently have a boxing coach, a fitness coach, a content coach, a business coach across the board.
Yeah.
We do it for
Yeah.
literally everything. And as of right now, we're running an eight-figure company. All right.
Right.
I'm in the best shape that I've fucking been in cardiovascular wise, fighting wise for boxing, but I still have these people because it on tune helps me speed up the process and also removes decision fatigue. I don't need to think
Yeah.
anymore. What do I do? They give me the game plan. Sounds good. Let me go execute. I just turn my brain off and I get to fucking work. A lot of people don't see success because, for lack of a better term, they're fucking arrogant. I know
Yeah.
what to do. Like, how many people have you had a conversation with over the last month? I always ask this question where you gave them advice and their instant response to you was, oh, well, I know.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, if you knew, you'd be doing it already. So
All
drop
the
the
time.
arrogance and just get it fucking done. A lot of people will get told a game plan. You'll give them the exact blueprint. You'll tell them exactly what to do, and it will get them to their goals. And then they will come up with an excuse as to why they don't want to do it because they want to hide how lazy and arrogant they are.
And you don't have to be good at everything. That's another
Mm-mm.
thing. People think that I have to multitask. It's not flattering to multitask. Like I'm not, there's a lot of shit that I'm not good at. And I don't want to be good at. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be fucking cleaning the house. Hire a fucking cleaner, right? I don't care. Like you said, I love
Yes.
what you said. Tell me what the fuck to do. Give me the fucking printout. Okay. Step one, step two, I go do it, right?
Yes.
I go do it. I don't have to be good at a lot of stuff. I
Mm-mm.
love that you're fitness, you're into your fitness. I'm not. I'm gonna hire you. I'm gonna say, Cole, like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried on my own. The worst thing. I hate that when people try to do. At first, if you don't have money, that's fine. And the other thing that I hate when they go online and they watch all these YouTube stuff for free or TikTok and everything. They think that they
Mm-hmm.
can learn from that, but the content creator actually chops that because they have a motive behind that. Like, if you really need me, you need to come hire me. Don't watch my
Yep.
clip because you're wasting so much time. But I would hire you, be like, Cole, show me, what do I have to do to lose 20 pounds because I don't know
Hmm.
what to do. That's much faster result versus trying and trying and
Yeah.
trying, right?
Well, and that's
So,
also one of the reasons why, what, 60% of the United States is obese. If we also look at it, the average income in Canada, to break it down, 50% of our population makes less than $38,000 a year. The reason why these statistics are out there is due to what you just said. Too many people would like to do it on their own because they do not want to pay for mentorship, but they will pay for clothes to dress up the body they hate. They will pay for jewelry to dress
$10,000
up the
purse.
body they hate. They will pay to do the same bullshit they've been doing for 15 years instead of investing in a mentor that might be able to help them in their journey.
Yeah, they pay for $10,000 purse, right? I've just seen girls like going to these stores, Fashion Nova. Those company makes a hell of a lot of money.
Oh
Kim
yeah.
Kardashian and all that shit, they're making money. So you have money to pay for those things, but like you said, your mindset is not there, and you always go back to that comfort zone, and you're
Hmm.
miserable.
Yep.
So cut down that Starbucks, cut down that purse or the shoes or whatever, sneakers or whatever it is, to get yourself a
Mm.
mentor. But if
Yep.
somebody looking for a mentor, I mean, I've been doing this for decade and decade and decade. I've been doing this for a longest time. And a lot of people ask me, if I wanted to hire a coach, what should I be looking for? A good coach, because there's a lot of scammers out there too.
100%. First and foremost would be results. Like even as of right now, if you come to my social media and you're like, I want to hire Cole as my fitness coach because it's something he said in an individual video, you might not want to hire me after you go look at the rest of the videos because you don't see a lot of social proof. Makes sense. I haven't been a fucking
Right.
coach for 5 years. Now I
Right.
have the social proof and I'll share them to you in the DMs, but it's not on my page. The main thing that you should be looking for when it comes down to hiring a coach is results that they have for themselves and results they've gotten for other people. That's just how it is. All right.
Yeah.
Because we can all say a lot. We can all preach a lot. We can learn how to manipulate words and learn how to persuade and alter our hooks and our sequences and create really good videos that will slap at home. But at the end of the day, if you don't have results, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Like I've got
Yeah.
probably 15 to 30 different DMs a day that were like, I can edit your videos to help you go turbo viral.
Me
And
too.
we'll go to their social media platform and they'll have like 15 views a video. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not even doing it yourself. Or we'll have people being like, listen, when it comes down to your fitness, I know I could help you not only optimize your fitness, but help you with your fitness business. I go to their social media. Not only do they look like shit, but they don't have a fitness business or any results themselves. So it's social media, I like to say, is a quote unquote shallow place. You are
Yeah.
judged instantaneously on how you look
Hmm.
mentally, physically, emotionally. All right. How are you showing up? Is your beard cut well? Is your hair done nice? Are you dressed nice? Are you wearing any jewelry? Do you got the nice cars? Social media is inherently fake. So if you do not understand how to present yourself in your business, you will not see success. If you are listening to this right now and you want to hire a mentor to help you with your fitness, maybe your business, maybe your mindset, whatever fucking path you would like to take, go to the page and don't just listen to the good content that draws in your eyes and your ears. Look at what they have done for other people and look at them. The fitness coach is probably who you should hire. And that's a funny thing to say because some people are like, well, not always the fittest person is the smartest. Yeah, but they know how to get fit themselves.
I say that all the time.
Like, I'm not going to hire the person who's fat as fuck, even if they've got 20 degrees. I'm sorry. I don't
I
care if you
say
went to
this.
school for 15 years. If you are fat, how are you going to teach me how to get shredded?
That's just such a good point that you made. I say this all the time. I get criticized for that all the time. People tell me like, "Oh, don't look at people's appearance." Certain stuff you have to. Okay, a lot of stuff maybe not, but like you said, fitness coach, right? If they're not fit, you're a father, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Cole, but if somebody don't have a kid, don't fucking give me parenthood advice. Is
Yep.
now you remember when you were not a father and now you are a father. It's a
And I
whole
didn't do any
different
fucking
game.
kid videos back then. Not even a little bit. Because I was like, if I talk about having a kid and I don't have a kid, people are gonna chop my motherfucking head off. So I'm just gonna shut my fucking mouth. And once I pop out a baby, then I'll talk about this shit because then I actually have a leg to stand on.
But it's true though, right? How that changed your life.
In every which way. Every which way. Like it makes me emotional talking about it. But having a kid was the biggest blessing that I was scared to embrace in the first place. That's how I like to explain it to people. When
Hmm.
it comes down to Cade, that's his name, Cade Wolf
Yes,
DaSilva. All right, little baby boy.
I know.
Originally, me and my wife had multiple conversations. We actually almost broke up 3 times in the span of our relationship due to the kid talk. Because every time that we would actually have it where it would become real, there was a lot of unresolved trauma, and I hate using the word T, but I'll use it anyways, that
Yeah.
came out in me. Like, oh, I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna attack him. The only way I'm gonna be able to deal with emotions is anger, frustration. There was a lot of things that came out where I just went into full panic mode, and it would draw a
Mm,
huge line between me and Julia, my wife.
right,
Well, we ended up having him, which I'm so fucking happy that we did, and we actually went down that path. For the
right.
first 2 months, when I say this, I mean it with wholeheartedly. The first 2 months were absolute hell. Like I had never been that scared and overwhelmed my entire life. My videographer, who's actually walking around my office now, all right, my wife heard me. Like I'm in the house holding the baby, where I was
Right,
like tears in my eyes, literally saying out loud, like, what the fuck did I do? Like I'm gonna ruin this kid's life. I didn't hit him, I didn't break anything in the
right, right, right,
house,
right.
but like the amount of like frustration and anger that I felt in those 2 months, not being able to control the crying baby was overwhelming. And then I don't know what it was. It was just like learning how to sit in the emotions and allow it flow through me. Next thing you know, the wife comes out of the bedroom one day and I'm holding him, he's crying and I'm just cooking breakfast and it just changed. Like I just evolved overnight and it's altered my life in the absolute best way. It's my favorite fucking thing in the world. Like
Talk
playing
about
with that kid, being able to listen to hear him say daddy, he's running around, I'm teaching him things. He actually just gave me his first like creation today, where it was like he put like all these sticky things on a
uh,
piece of paper and then ran up and like talked about it and gave it to me. And I was just like, oh, like it's my favorite fucking thing in the world. I absolutely love it.
talk about crash course, but back to the point that you couldn't have speak about it the way you do now
Yeah.
back when you didn't have it. You thought
Yeah.
about it, you thought you would be a bad father or you couldn't handle it, you couldn't, but this is why it's important to go with somebody that's been through that.
Yes. Yes.
Not
And it's
reading about
like,
it. Because I'm sure you read a book or I'm sure you tried to once your wife was pregnant, you're probably like, I gotta learn everything. I gotta no, throw
nah.
every shit away. Because when
See,
when that baby comes in, it's a whole nother level.
well, and that was it. That's actually funny because this is the thing. I've never been like that, like you just said. I didn't read one book, I didn't read one video, I didn't watch one thing because I was like, we'll figure it out. Like let's be real. My parents had 5 kids and they're fucking degenerates. I'm like, I love them,
Yeah.
but they're degenerate. I'm like everything that I've seen, I'm like, we'll figure it out. The one class that we went to about parenthood, halfway through, I put my hand up and I'm like, everything you guys have fucking said, you have contradicted. So what the fuck is like set in stone here? And they're like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, why am I here? Like, this is fucking stupid.
Right.
Swaddle your baby. Oh, but if you swaddle them, they might die. But you should, but you shouldn't. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? This is ridiculous. So I just reached a point where I'm like, fuck it. We'll figure it out and we'll break it down. But I agree with you. Like, before I had a kid, I had ideologies and mindsets around who I would operate as. And I did set myself up for that. I've
Mm,
always been good at planning ahead based off of my situation. I never used to wake up at 3 a.m. I used to wake up at around 5. When I
right.
saw that the kid was coming, I was like, oh, well, if I wake up at 5, he's going to be getting up around that same time. I'm going to feel like a piece of shit leaving my wife and him at the house when she has to deal with it herself. So I'm going to wake up at 3 because then by the time that they are awake, I will be coming home and I'll be able to spend some time with them before I have to go work on my computer and start grinding out the day. So like I've always planned ahead, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. Like I didn't know the day was going to act like this. Monitoring his emotions are going to be like this. I didn't know how I was going to act until we had him. So I agree with you. Like you can't preach or understand something until you have gone through it. And that's something to me that I feel like is set in stone. If a person has not gone through something, you probably should not hire them to help you with something. Now, that doesn't mean don't hire the coach who's lost 20 pounds because you need to lose 200. All right.
Yeah.
Like that's not the same
Right.
fucking mindset. As long as they know what they're doing to lose weight, then hire them because they've done it for other people. But if someone's never fucking helped another person or gone through a weight loss journey themselves, do not hire them. If
Yeah.
someone says that they can help you become a better parent and they're not a fucking parent, do not hire them. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't care what habits and rituals you preach until you have an individual running around your household, fucking up your home, fucking with your workflow. You don't know what it's like. So
Yeah.
look for the proof in the pudding. What are people doing and what's going on in their life? If their life is relatable to yours, hire them. This is another reason why I also tell coaches share things about you.
Right.
Don't just be the value guy because I will hire the person I can relate to versus the person that gives me the most value online.
Yeah. And it's so true. And I
Mhm.
think for you kind of work out really good for our listeners, because I know listeners, all my listeners are your age. So I think you were kind of blessed that you work on yourself first and you
Yeah.
got where you got and then you had the baby. And
Yeah.
now you should have a luck, kiddo. You gotta be good. You will have a responsibility. And
Yep.
that's the best part of it. I
Yep.
can't fuck it up anymore now.
That was it, dude. That mindset right there. I did a video with this recently. And it was like right before Julia was about to pop him out. I was like, oh well, didn't have a day off before this. Guess I'm not gonna get a day off in the next 18 years. I'm like, it's fucking game time now, homie. Like I was a hard worker before the baby. Obviously, our results speak for themselves.
Right.
Now like, good luck keeping up if you're my competition. It's not gonna fucking happen because I don't
Yeah.
get to sleep. I don't get to take a break. I don't get to take time off because anytime that I'm not sitting at this computer working, I am playing with the baby and Julia upstairs, and then I'm doing content on the side. Like my average sleep is 4 to 6 hours. That's what I fucking operate off of. This is the mentality that we grind at. So the no days off is now like a badge of honor here. That's it.
Yeah.
18 years of grinding.
Yeah, no, it keeps you grounded because I had my two daughter and at such a young age, got divorced, was on the street. You can't get worse than this.
Yep.
I said to
Yep.
myself, and it's not about me anymore. I have two life that is depending on me.
Mm-hmm.
So that shifts you, and that just till this day. And my girls are like 30 and 31 now. But from that time, I was like you said, you can't beat me
Yep. Exactly.
because I have everything and anything that I have, either do or die. That
That's
was my
exactly it.
mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That
no,
mentality is very hard to get to, and it's very hard to conjure out of nowhere. But when you are able to tap into it, like all success comes from that. Like like the truly successful people I know came from that mindset right there. The
yep.
I will do this or I will die fucking
I
trying.
I
And that's
still
it.
do. I still like I'm
Mhm.
like, no, I can't. You cannot take that away from me because if it means that much to you, like your son means that much to you. If he's not with me, I'm dead anyway. So guess what? I'll die for it.
Yep.
And when somebody comes in the ring like that, I tell you what, you can't beat them.
Yep. 100%. I
I
couldn't
don't care
agree more.
how strong you are, you cannot beat that person. Just fucking walk away, go get yourself something else because that person
Mhm.
is not for you. So that's the thing. The other thing I wanted to ask you, have such a lovely relationship with your wife. What is the secret to a successful relationship?
Fuck, fuck if I know. Honestly, I'm just trying on a daily basis.
Hey,
No,
you're doing good so far.
yeah,
So
my biggest thing with my wife was over communicate about absolutely everything.
yeah.
When we first got into a relationship, like she loved me when I was a broke joke. Like we both worked in the same company. I was the drug addict, iron worker, man whore that she heard about on the field while she
Mhm.
was working in the office. So when we met, she took a chance on me. Right after my 6 month lonely chapter, that's actually when I met her and my business partner, which is crazy when you work on yourself.
Yeah.
Luck comes into your life, right? I always say luck favors the ready and the deserving. I got lucky because 6 months of alone time, isolation, fucking cold turkey ended with me meeting my best friend today and business partner and my wife. But yeah, like she just fucking believed in me. She was an individual that first gave me the fucking belief. So once that happened, I just made a vow to self to give her everything. Because when we first met, I was driving like a 1999 busted ass Subaru station wagon. The fucking shifter was like a floppy banana. It was horrible to
Mm,
drive. It looked like dog shit. I had no money in my account, broke as fuck. I got thrown out of my older brother's house. He threw all my shit on the fucking street. So
mm,
after like 2, 3 weeks of me and my wife being together, I moved into our apartment. I would only see her for like 45 minutes to an hour every night because my day was 10 to 12 hours outside ironworking, 2.5 hours in the gym, an hour of boxing and posing practice because I was getting ready for shows, fitness competitions, and then I
mm-hmm.
watch the show, we go to bed. And from the very beginning of me trying to become an entrepreneur and do this, I was like, I'm just going to tell you everything because there was one day where she came home from work and the house was a fucking mess and I was working on my laptop. And she's like, motherfucker, like if you're gonna be here home all day, like you better clean. And I was like, listen, like I'm not just like wasting
Right, right,
time,
right,
like
right.
I'm doing shit. But
Doing shit, yeah.
since that day, that's where over communicate came in, where I was like, you're gonna know everything about what I do. Even if you don't want to, even if you don't care about it, even if it doesn't interest you, I need you to know so you know what I'm doing. Like I'm not down here away from you and our kid right now because I'm doing nothing. I'm doing something to build the brand, to build the business, to build the authority, to build the legacy that we are chasing. And ever since she basically gave me that belief, or like she looked in my eyes and was like, I believe in you. I know that you're gonna do this. Like there was one day she sat me down and we were going through something pretty hard at the beginning of our business coaching company. And she's like, I believe in you. I know that this is super stressful right now, but everything that you have ever done from the day that I met you as a broke iron worker to today, you have done. So even when you celebrate wins with me, she's like, when I don't seem like I'm excited or amped up for you, it's just because it doesn't surprise me. You are my husband. And that like belief, I was like, oh, that's game over. Like I'll die for her. That's why I retired her from her job in 2019. She never has to work again. The only work that she does is for our company on the back
Right.
end, helping managing finances. She wants to do anything, we'll do it. Like I am the quote unquote servant to my family.
But it's so important that what you said, because see, for people that are listening right now and they think that they're broke and they don't have the money and they can't give the luxury life that the girl or the girlfriend or fiance wants. That's not what it's about. What you did was, as a man, you came forward, even though on your worst time, and you said, hey, listen, I may be in a shit right now,
Yeah.
but I know what I want, and I want you to be there with me through up and down, and I'm not
Mhm.
leaving, and I'm making this happen. And that's really that honesty and that security that you give her. That's what woman wants. That's what they
Mhm.
need. It's not like, if you're going around and throwing money, buying stuff, giving them everything, but you never have that communication to
Yeah.
express your feeling, what's there. So communication would be the biggest key in a
Everything.
relationship.
Literally everything. If you don't talk about the ups and the downs, if you don't talk about what you're doing, what they're doing, if you don't talk about the past and the future, if you don't express about what's going on in your mind, like why the fuck are you there? Like you're choosing to be with another human being that has positive and negative emotions. You're choosing to be with another human being that is dealing with their own shit on a daily basis. And most people don't communicate. And it makes no fucking sense to me. Like when I don't like something, I look at my wife and I'm like, don't fucking do that again. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And oh, vice versa. She
Yeah.
checks me every fucking day where she's like, I don't fucking like that. She'll
Yeah.
give me ultimatums based off of how I acted when I was younger. All right. She's like, don't fucking do that shit or I'll leave you. Like she's checked me consistently. And I've always respected it because that open communication cadence, that open loop of communication has
Yeah.
just built us from the very foundation. And there was zero judgment. It was all belief from the very beginning. And she never wanted the money. She didn't give a fuck. Literally 2 days ago, we got stuck in Mexico after running a huge company retreat for my entire company. And we were looking at it, flight delayed, flight delayed, flight delayed. We're like, fuck this. Called a private jet, chartered a jet back from Mexico. We're like, we're getting home. We had the whole family on the jet between myself and my business partner. Afterwards, I'm like, babe, how was that? Because it was her first time on a jet. She's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was all right.
Yeah.
She's like, you know me. She's like, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck about any of that shit. She's like,
This
it's
is what I'm
cool,
talking about.
but
Yes.
like I
Guys
care.
think that I know, like guys think that, oh, I have to do this, and not necessarily. Little thing
Mhm.
matters. The little,
Yeah.
communication, like you said, the little that you go, like you said, you were so busy every day you're working, you're coming home, you see each other for 1 hour, but in
Yep.
that 1 hour, you reminded her of
Present.
like, you know,
Present.
that's it,
Mhm.
that's it, what it is. So
That
where
was the
the
biggest thing.
the wolf comes in. Tell me a little bit about the wolf.
That was actually a funny nickname. So back in the fitness coaching days, we ran a company called Aesthetic Nation. Funny enough, that is actually the name of my gym now. My business partner and I, who own the online business, also own a 27,000 square foot gym in Kelowna. It's called
Uh-huh.
Aesthetic Nation. Well, we had six trainers on the team at the time when we were running Aesthetic Nation, and we'd always do these challenges: spring into shape, fall into shape, whatever. We do a big enrollment, bring a bunch of people on, and we do a transformation challenge, and we'd all have captains, green team, red team, whatever. Well, I didn't like the term green team. I thought it was fucking lame. So I was like, okay, how can I gamify this, make people a little bit more bought in? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call everybody Cole's Wolves. Like that's what I'm gonna do. And everybody can actually go fact check this. If you go on Instagram and you hashtag Cole's Wolves, you will see all my clients and me hashtagging that on Instagram because it's still up there.
All
And
right.
after around 3 weeks of me doing that, me like dropping wolf emojis, howling on fucking coaching calls, getting everybody amped up, my coaches and my clients just started calling me the wolf. Like that was a thing that got picked up. And it's just stayed because I've got that dog mentality. I don't give a fuck what your excuse is. I'll eat you alive, get the work done because you complaining about how you're tired doesn't beat me on a 7-day bender sniffing Percocets off a fucking beam and still going to work. So I don't give a fuck about your
Mm,
excuse, homie. You saying that it's hard to work out when I had to go and climb a 70-foot beam in minus 30 degrees Celsius does not compare. Shut the fuck up and do your job. So the wolf mentality was just born and people fucking gripped onto it right away. It was Cole's Wolves as the clients. And then I
mm.
just got the nickname the Wolf and it stuck.
That is so cool. That is so
Mm,
cool. So I'm gonna go to a little rapid question for you.
sounds
Are you a
good.
morning person or night owl?
Morning person, 100%. I would usually used to say night owl. However, now that piece in the morning, all right, 3 to 4 a.m. when no one else is awake is my fucking dream time. I love it.
I love the video that you did. I'm gonna ask you the favorite guilty pleasure food. And I know before you answered that, I saw a video. I was cracking the fuck up. You're like, if you want to lose weight, you're gonna be fucking hungry.
Yeah, people don't like that video right now. It's fucking funny as shit. It's hilarious right now. But it's very true. It's like if you were going through a cut, you're gonna probably be hungry. I don't give a fuck if you're hungry. Stop eating, you fat fuck. Just please allow yourself to be hungry.
When do
All
you
right.
have a cheat meal? Your cheat meal is when you lose that weight.
Well, and that because that was a big thing. We also got fitness coaching. Like as a fitness professional, a fitness coach, that's one of the main things you always hear. You bring a client on, and right away the people are like, "So when do I get a cheat meal?" I'm like, "You've had a cheat meal for the last 23 fucking years, homie. Like, what do you mean? When do I get a cheat? You've eaten clean for 1 week, and you need a cheat meal already? Fuck you." Like that. So that was just the
Ah,
mentality in coaching. My
I
guilty pleasure food. It's a toss up. It's a toss up. I'm a pizza is probably my favorite thing
right.
besides nachos. If that's the food, nachos and pizza is like I'll fucking smash 3 large pizzas in one sitting if I want to. But my other shit's candy. Like I can't have candy in my fucking
Oh,
house. I just can't. Like if
s-
it's in the house, I'll fucking eat it. So as soon as it gets in here, I'll snack a bit and then I'll throw the whole bag in the garbage. So it's just fucking gone. I can't do
my
it.
daughter's like that. She has
Mhm.
sweet tooth, and she just you can't keep anything. She'll eat.
No.
She's like, I hate it, mom. Throw it away. I can't have it.
That's me.
Like
Like
that's
I'm
really what
like,
happens.
especially when
Yeah,
I'm on a cut, if you bring candy into the house, you'll open the garbage and you'll see it in there. Because if it's not,
yeah.
you'll catch me in the fucking like room. I put it this way, I've been through crazy preps. Like I've done 4 fitness competitions. I brought myself to disgusting caloric deficits where I used to just sit in the pantry, chew up candy in my mouth, and then spit it in the garbage
Spit it
because I knew
out.
I couldn't eat it. So it's like, nah, I can't do it. Sweet tooth is my fucking my weakness right there.
Yeah. Favorite pump up song right now.
As of right now, it's a toss up. So I've got a pretty crazy music taste. Mine is usually rap or R&B because I'm like a
Mm-hmm.
voices person. However, there's a lot of different people that I'm currently listening to. One of the ones that I absolutely love is The Door by Teddy Swims. Absolutely love it. For some reason, it just
Mm-hmm.
hits that for me. The other one is Dare You by NLE Choppa and Imagine Dragons. Both of them got like very different vibes, but that's what I'm
Mm.
currently listening to.
I was gonna say what a difference. One book everyone should read.
Buy Back Your Time from Dan Martell. The only reason I'm saying that is because it is actually to this day 100% factual, the only book I've ever read front to back because I fucking hate reading. I cannot. Yeah. I'm a podcast person. However, when I sat down with one of my mentors and friends, Dan Martell, and at this point we're struggling. I'm running the entire back end delivery side of my business because my business partner is marketing. I am delivery. We've got 2,000 active clients. We're working 12 hours a day. I'm trying to get fit, spend time with the wife. And my mentor looked at me and was like, listen, obviously it's my book and I am promoting it, but fucking Cole, just read it. Read the book. It will help you buy your time back so you can be a good father, be a good husband, be a good business owner, and scale. Ever since I read that book, it's revolutionized everything in our fucking business. Now, without exaggerating, if I don't want to work, I can still operate my 8-figure company from the back of my phone because I have the proper people in place. Even this podcast, my executive assistant is the one that went through the entire process to book all of this. All I had to do was sit down in this chair and click a button.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
If you can share a final motivation message or quote with our listeners to awaken the wolf in them, what would that be?
Understand that it is that easy. People will consistently say that it's not that easy to get rich. It's not that easy to get fit. It's not that easy to transform your life. It is. It really fucking is. I don't know how long it's going to take for you. It could take a year, it could take a decade, but it is that easy to see success. I went from a drug addict iron worker to an eight-figure earner by just working on me, working on my habits, working on my wake up time, working on my fitness, controlling what I put in my fucking mouth, not playing victim, and doing the fucking work. Yes, even when I was broke. Yes, even when I was overwhelmed. Yes, even when I was tired. Guys, I sleep 4 to 6 hours a night. That is not an exaggeration. It is literally in my fucking calendar. I wake up every day at 3 a.m. and I do the regular shit that I need to do. Why? Because it's easy. The reason why people say it's not that easy is because they would like to place their limitations on you. Because if you actually started to see success mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, then those people would have to go look at themselves in the mirror and say, what the fuck? My friend from childhood is seeing success and I'm not. So I'm the problem. And that realization is incredibly hard for people to understand. They don't want you to grow because your growth makes them feel insecure. So they say it's not that easy to stop you from taking the first step, when in reality, if you took the first step, you would realize how fucking easy this game is.
Right. Like I said, you don't have to suffer to do that. But Cole, for me, is so admiring that not only you work on yourself, which is great, and you have a story, which is great, but the most admired thing that I admire about you, and I thank you for that, is that you are doing something good for the upcoming generation, like your son. You're a role
Mm,
model. You know, you pull yourself together. Not only is good for you, but he sees you, he mimics you, he knows what that is. And you grew up in a family knowing that, you know what, that believe it or not, it's fucking gonna affect you when you're around
mm,
people, and especially young kids that they have no choice to do anything else be in that environment. And
yeah,
you can create that safe environment, and this environment that you're teaching him everything to be a man. I think that is very, very admiring.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. That means the world to
Yeah.
me. Being a good
Yeah.
dad, being a good husband, and being a good role model to others slash leader in the industry is something that I strive to do every day.
Well, you prove of it, and we thank you so much for coming here and sharing your story. So somebody that's listening right now, and they're stuck and they say that, oh my God, I can't do it. Hey, listen to this. Go to the website. We put everything in there. Check him out because he's a living example of that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Cole, thank you so much.